Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today is the last day of 2015. Where did it go? It all went so quick. But because it is the last day of 2015 and of course the last day of December, it is time for my December wrap up and my reading goals for 2016. If you've been lurking on my channel for a bit, you'll know that I have been doing a readathon this December called the 12 Reads of Christmas. It had 12 Christmas themed challenges that we had to complete, and I am happy to say that I completed 10 of them. Yes, so I'm just going to go through the books that I read this December and I'll tell you which challenges they completed after I've done that. So yes. Here we go. The first book that I read this month was Drowned by Esther Del Sano. This is a retelling of The Little Mermaid fairy tale by Hans Christian Andersen. It is a dark retelling. It's quite short. It's very well imagined. Like, I really enjoyed the sort of detail that Esther's gone into in creating this world and just the twists and turns. It really could be an expanded version of the fairy tale with how it is, and I absolutely adore it. And the challenge that this book fulfilled was read an author you've never read before. The second book that I read this December is A Pirate's Night Before Christmas. I actually do not have this book with me because I lent it to one of the girls from work so she could read it to her kids. It is a retelling of The Night Before Christmas, which has a pirate flair, so it's all pirate language. It's, you know, on a ship there's sharks, seahorses, that kind of thing. It's just a great children's book. It's only 30 pages long, and the challenge that this completed was read a children's book set at Christmas. The third book that I read in December was The Diviners by Libba Bray. I mentioned this in my November wrap up as a book that I had started reading but hadn't finished. I finished it this month. It did take me a long time to get into it, like at least 150 pages, but after that I was hooked. I could not stop reading it. It was absolutely beautiful. I am also now listening to the audiobook, which is also fantastic. The voice actor is just phenomenal and all the voices are just perfect for the characters, and I'm really enjoying it so far. This book completed the read a book with white, gold or snow on the cover, and also an author you've never read before. The fourth book I read this December was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, and I only sort of half read it, and then because I was having real trouble reading it, I'm not that good with classics, I switched to the audiobook version read by Tim Curry. Honestly, buying it, I thought I would be listening to an audiobook read by Frankenfurter, but it turned out being more Nigel Thornberry, and it was, at times it was really hard to sort of separate the two. It was a fantastic telling of it, and I did really enjoy the story. I got up to the second ghost in physical format, and then I was just like, no, I have to change. It's a short audiobook, it's only about 3 hours long, so yes, there's that one. This book completed the challenges: a book set during Christmas or a Christmas classic, a book set in winter, there's more, a book that's been on my TBR since last Christmas, and a book with the word Christmas in the title. So thank you, Charles Dickens. The next book I read was Trick by Natalia Jaster. This book came in the December YA Chronicles box, and I was so intrigued by the blurb on the back that I just had to start it pretty much straight away, and I read it in a day. I absolutely adored it. This didn't actually come into my challenge, although it would work for a book with white on the cover. The last book that I read this month was Life in Outer Space by Melissa Keel. My parents got me this one for Christmas, and it is about a boy named Sam who is a bit of a nerd, and he, you know, is not very social. He hangs out with his friends, but he doesn't do much more than that, and then a new girl comes along and they start hanging out, and it's that story. This book covered the challenges, a book with red and green on the cover, and a book that you were recently given as a Christmas gift. The book that I'm currently reading at the moment, which I think I will be able to finish by midnight, is A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall. I have no plans for New Year's. I have a 5-hour shift at work, but I have another 3 hours until that, and I also have another 2 hours after I finish work where I should be able to get it done. I'm currently on page 54. The only thing is I'm not enjoying this as much as I thought it would. We'll talk more about it in my January wrap-up after I finished it. And the challenges that I didn't get to were read a summer or holiday romance, and I also did not get to the challenge of donating my books. I hurt my foot this month, so it's been a bit hard to get up and walk around. I am back on my feet now, but with work and everything, seeing family, it's been tough for me to find time to get to the good Sammys down the road. So I do still have a crate of books that I do need to donate, and I will be doing that soon into the new year, but I didn't get to that challenge this month. Now that I'm done my wrap-up, my final wrap-up for the year, I want to talk about my reading goals for 2016. My first goal is to put at least one video a week on YouTube, because I find that I'm really irregular with my videos. One day, like 1 week I'll do like 3 videos and then I'll leave it for like 3 weeks. So next year I want to put at least one video up a week. The second goal is that I want to get through all the books that have been on my TBR for over a year. And I'm not talking about books that I don't have but have wanted to read. I'm talking about books that I own and haven't picked up yet. So every year at my uni there is a Save the Children book sale where you get a box and you spend, or you pay $15 to fill this box up with as many books as you can. So I went to one of those 2 years ago. My mum didn't let me go last year, and I bought a bunch of books. Bought a whole box. Some of them are in my crate to give away because either I really have no interest in reading them or they're like the second in a series, but the rest of them I put in there and I didn't pick them up. I do want to read them. There's some really interesting looking ones. I'm calling it the old TBR jar. Hopefully the old TBR jar will help me get rid of books from my old TBR so that I can focus more on books that I want to buy and read instead of books that I haven't yet read. This does not include books that are classics and non-fiction, because that comes to my next goal, and that is to read more classics and non-fiction. And I know I had this sort of goal last year, and I think my main problem with that was I was forcing myself to read one a month. I just want to read any at all. I read one non-fiction book this year, and that was Working Stiff by Judy Melanick, and I read one classic this year, and that was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. So I'm not going to force myself to read these books. There are a few books that I'm looking at and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, that could be interesting. Was that my third? That's my third reading goal. My fourth reading goal is to read the books I buy as I buy them, because I find that a lot of the books I buy I'm not reading, as you probably figured out from my 40 plus books book hauls. So I'm going to be buying books at a slower pace next year, and hopefully I'm going to be able to read the books that I buy when I buy them, like when they arrive or when I bring them home, and then I will be able to put them away and not have to worry about adding to my TBR pile. That should be a fairly easy one. Fingers crossed. It'll also help me buy books that I do intend on reading straight away. And my fifth reading goal, which I think is my final one and I think is the most important to me, is to read the series that I started in high school and never finished. I graduated from high school 5 years ago and I never finished these series. I don't know why, but at last count there was 6. There's probably more, but they are The Children of the Red King by Jenny Nimmo, The Secret series by Pseudonymous Bosch, the Septimus Heap series by Angie Sage, which are all middle grade, the Secrets of the Immortal Nicholas Flamel series by Michael Scott, which is young adult and which I don't own, so I'll need to go to the library and get my hands on them somehow. And then I have the Paths to Camelot by Sarah Zettel and the Wicked Years series by Gregory Maguire. I started all of these series in high school and I did enjoy what I read of them, but I never finished them, so my main goal for next year is to reread the books that I've read and then read the books that I haven't, hopefully get these series finished and be able to speak coherently. So those are my reading goals and my December wrap up. Let me know what you think of them, any of the books or any of the goals. Let me know what books you've read. Let me know what series you think I should start with. I'm desperate to hear your opinions. I hope you have a wonderful new year. Don't be boring like me and stay inside, because that's boring. And I will see you next year with a new video. Bye!